A very good evening to you. You are watching Prime TV News. Let's take a look at today's headlines first. Three more accomplices of Saharan are arrested. The Kandy Asila Perahera has been successfully concluded. A new agreement is inked for oil and natural gas exploration. More lands in the north handed over to original owners. And in headlines overseas, Indian Prime Minister Modi vows to restore Kashmir's past glory. And now let's take a look at the news in detail. Three active members of the banned organization National Tawheed Jamaat Organization and the Jamaat-e Militao Ibrahim have been taken into custody. The police said that these persons had undergone training under the terrorist leader Zaharan in the Nuarelia and Hambantota camps. A group of officers of the Ampara police station had carried out the arrest based on the State Intelligence Service and the instructions of the police superintendent of the Ampara Police Division. Abu Sulaiman alias Mohammad Tassim Mohammad Akil, Abu Hamda alias Hizbullah Khan Huzni Ahmed, and Abu Miftah alias Abdul Halim Mohammad Himaz are the three suspects arrested by the police. The police claim that they are residents of the Mavanalla area. The Kandy Asila Perahera festival officially drew to a close last night. The final Randoli Perahera of the Asila festival ended last night after parading the streets, while thereafter the water cutting festival was carried out this morning.
The Kandy Asila festival was held for several days, while the final Randoli Perahera paraded the streets last night. The Kataragama Vasana Tusker carried the relics casket flanked with the Mian Raja and Buruma Raja Tuskers. The final Randoli Perahera commenced at the auspicious time of 8:05 p.m. yesterday. It paraded the Dalada Vidya, the Yatinwara Vidya, and Kande Vidya and entered the Raja Vidya. Thereafter, the auspicious time of 12:02 a.m. today, the Dalada Perahera joined the Peraheras of Natha, Vishnu, Pattini and Kataragama four Mahadevalas, and thereafter entered the Asgiriya Gedige Adahana Maluva Vihara and placed the Perahera casket. The water cutting festival was held at the Gatambe ferry. Meanwhile, the Diyawadana Nilame Pradeep Nilangadala handed over the Sandesha to the President, saying that the Perahera was concluded successfully. Dancing artists, musicians and tuskers who made the Perahera colourful received gifts and awards from the President. The Asila Maha Perahera festival is incorporated with several cultural importance. The independent television network fulfilled its media responsibility frequently, bringing the Perahera activities to the people along with the media unit of the Sri Dalada Maligawa.
Army Commander Lieutenant General Mahesh Senanayake has said that the successful completion of the Dalada Perahera festival has confirmed security in the country. He expressed this view to the media last night after viewing the Perahera. The Army Commander said that a large number of people had viewed the Perahera and there was also a large number of foreigners. This clearly indicates that security has been consolidated in the island. At the same time, he wished to mention the trust placed by the people in the army, the police and the forces. He said that the Sri Lanka army led by the forces and the police will be dedicated to ensuring the security of the people and the country. Meanwhile, expressing views to the media, police media spokesman Espiruan Gunasekara said it was possible to end the Kandy Asala Perahara festival successfully. It was possible to successfully conduct 5 Kumbal Peraharas and 5 Randoli Peraharas. Security was enthroned under the full guidance of the Central Province Senior DIG. The armed forces also extended their full support towards this effort. This is a fitting example to indicate national security.
කදිම නිදසුන තමයි ශ්‍රී දළදා පෙරහැර මේ ආකාරයට අවසන් වීම.
Minister Kabir Hashim has said that the present government has implemented many programs, although the previous regime had not made necessary investments for the development of petroleum resources. The minister made this reference joining in the function organized for the inking of the agreement for oil and natural gas exploration. The agreement was signed with a Belgian firm for a project to collect data for air magnetism and gravity for oil and natural gas exploration. This will give an opportunity for natural gas exploration in the Mannar Basin, the Jaffna Peninsula and the northwestern stretch. Minister Kabir Hashim said that arrangements have been made to build a tank with 15,000 cubic meters and 3 tanks with 7,000 cubic meters, as well as 2 tanks with a capacity of 5,000 cubic meters. The previous regime was unable to build any tanks at all because the necessary investments had not been made in time. Without engaging in such work, it had built flyovers in forests, expressways, built conference halls in forests, but it did not make the investments concerned in the required locations. The minister said that there are several gas beds in the coastal basin. The minister pointed out that they strongly believe that Sri Lanka can become a natural gas producing country in the years 2020 to 2022 while carrying out dredging. It will be a major victory for Sri Lanka. The main beneficial factor is that Sri Lanka will not be spending a cent. A 5-member judge bench has been appointed to determine the law to conduct the provincial council elections based on the proportional election system after the president had sought an opinion to that effect. The appointment has been made by the Chief Justice. The judge bench would comprise of Chief Justice Jayantha Jayasuriya along with Justices Buane Kaluvihare, Sisira Diabru, Vijit Malalgoda and Prasanna Jayawardena. President Maithripala Sirisena has sought the opinion of the Supreme Court to determine whether the elections could be held under the proportional representation system which existed before the Provincial Council's Amendment Act, which was passed in 2017. The submission made by the President is to be examined on the 23rd of this month. The Registrar of the Supreme Court has requested the President of the Bar Association to apprise its members in this respect. The lawyers are given an opportunity to present oral submissions on the 23rd of this month when the inquiry is being held on the 23rd, with respect to the opinion sought by the President. Still on local news, the Gamarakuma organization has been launched for the protection of the country and the people under the guidance of the Presidential Secretariat. Director General of the Gamarakuma Secretariat, Kamal Padmasiri, said that the program is operative, covering every Graman Lidari office. Officials of 10 districts have been apprised of the Gamarakuma organization. A National Operations Committee comprising officials including those from the Defence and Home Affairs Ministries, headed by the President's Secretary, has been appointed for the supervision of the program. The Gamarakuma Secretariat said that the aim of this effort is to protect the people from natural disasters in the village and drugs that hinder the economy and health. A dialogue has been held for the revelation of assets and liabilities of people's representatives who are contesting the elections. It was organized at the Bandaranayake Memorial International Conference Hall. This dialogue was organized by Transparency International. Discussions were held on the need for the people's representatives contesting the elections to declare their assets and liabilities, its legal issues, the rights of the people's representatives, as well as the right to information. This was organized on the initiatives taken to examine and report on the assets and liabilities of many parties, including politicians, high state officials, custodians of media establishments, as well as editors, with the intention of educating the Transparency International Sri Lanka Institute. Meanwhile, the Elections Monitoring Organization is geared to look into the receipts and expenditures of all election candidates. This was emphasized at a media conference in Colombo. National Coordinating Officer of the Elections Monitoring Organization, Manjula Gajanayaka, laid this emphasis to journalists at the news conference. Pafrel pointed out that a colossal amount of funds can be saved by holding the presidential election and the general election on 2 nearby days. This reference was made by Executive Director of Pafrel, Rohana Hettiarachchi. Queries were raised by journalists on the action that could be taken if a candidate who has dual citizenship is fielded at the presidential election. Mr. Hettiarachchi said that every candidate, when handing over their nominations during an election, they should hand over an affidavit saying that there is no reason for disqualification. As such, if any person who is ineligible hands over nominations, legal action can be taken against such a person. Another 23 acres of land that was under the custody of the army has been handed over to the original owners. 23 acres of lands in the Krishnapuram area coming under the Karachi Divisional Secretariat Division in the Kilinochchi district was handed over to the original owners. Kilinochchi Commanding Officer Major General G.V. Ravipriya presented the relevant documents to Kilinochchi District Secretary Sundaram Arumainayagam. The documents were handed over at the Kilinochchi District Secretariat. A special commemorative function was held at the Indian High Commission in Colombo, marking India's 73rd Independence Day. The function commenced with Indian High Commissioner Taranjit Singh Sandhu hoisting the Indian national flag. Arrangements were also made to hold a military salute. The Indian High Commissioner in Sri Lanka presented the Independence Day message of the Indian President. Noteworthy was the conduct of a cultural pageant which included Indian dancing items. A large gathering including Indian nationals living in the country joined in the occasion. An immediate program has been launched to minimize coastal erosion. The program has been mooted by the Coast Conservation Department. The sea has become rough due to the prevailing adverse weather conditions. The coastal belt stretching from Chilau to Thoduawa has been subject to severe erosion. Since it could turn to worse, a layer of rocks is being laid by the Coast Conservation Department as a course of action to prevent sea erosion. 13 layers are being constructed in about 1,300 meters in the coastal erosion area. It spreads about 40 meters to the sea area. Work related to 8 rock layers has been completed, and the intention of the Coast Conservation Department is to complete the work on the other 5 layers as soon as possible. And now taking a look at the weather forecast. The Department of Meteorology has forecast that rain can be experienced in several provinces, including the northwestern, western, southern and Sabaragamuwa provinces. The department has emphasized that the public should be cautious as the wind speed can rise. The Met Department said that several spells of showers will occur in Sabaragamuwa's central, southern and western provinces. Light showers may occur in northwestern province. Showers or thunder showers will occur at a few places in northern, eastern and Ua provinces after 2 p.m. There may be temporary localized strong winds during thunder showers. The public are requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by lightning activity. The Met Department, meanwhile, said that showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the sea area, extending from Colombo to Matara via Galle. Winds will be westerly to southwesterly and speed will be 30 to 40 kilometers per hour in the sea areas around the island. It added that the sea area extending from Pottubil to Mana via Hambantota, Colombo and Putlam can be rough at times as the wind speed can increase up to 50 to 55 kilometers per hour at times. And now let's take a look at today's business segment. In a survey carried out by the Travel and Leisure website, Sri Lanka has emerged as the world's best island to travel in 2019. According to Travel and Leisure, this was the first time Sri Lanka made it to the list and straight to the top with a high score of 92.12. Philippine island of Palawan made it to the second place of the list, followed by Bali, Milos, Maldives, Anguilla, Crete, Cape Breton Island, Koh Lanta and Azores. Every year for its World's Best Awards survey, Travel and Leisure asks readers to weigh in on travel experiences around the globe to share their opinion on the top cities, islands, cruise ships, spas, airlines and more. Readers rate islands according to their activities and sites, natural attractions and beaches, food, friendliness and the overall value. That's all the news we have for you tonight. I'm Umayangi Vijaya Surya signing off for Prime TV News. Good night.